All right, people of the internet, you cannot see my face, but you can hear my voice. That is what matters. No. My good man.
Wagwan.
We are going to be talking about the things one or the other. One or
the other.
One or the other.
Neither nor.
Neither nor.
Either or.
So question number one goes to Ochuka. Have a life filled with exciting adventures but no long-term security, or a life that's secure but rather uneventful?
Hey, whoa. I think, wait, I will repeat that question.
Have a life filled with exciting adventures. You know, we are going to Santorini, Greece, but no long-term security. Yani ukipata unabomoa yote.
Yeah, I think I'll choose the other option.
Which one? Or a life that's secure but uneventful?
It's secure but it's uneventful. I think.
But you see, this is the same question that we tuliongelelea. Yule msichana mwenye nakupatia all the life, the kinky lifestyle.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Actually.
Yes, it's
Have I made the same answer? Yes, I have.
So you just want it to be uneventful.
No. I'll make the events in the end.
It's part
as long as it's stable. Stability is a very important aspect for me. And then also, I generally don't consider myself such an adventurous person. So
This ninja is looking at
saying something else.
This ninja is looking at you like Bomoa.
Bomoa yote.
Bomoa Jakedo. Uneventful to me sounds like it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means a lot of things are happening, but they're not happening in your favor. So you have the security. The security that you have could be a good, could set a good premise for you to experience a lot of uneventful things.
Stuff, yeah.
So if you promise me this short life with all the excitement, man, give me that.
There was no length.
There was length.
There was no length.
Wasn't there?
No.
There's no length.
There's no length. Just one with security.
Funny thing, if there was a length to it,
Yes.
I would choose the previous one. Because I also don't want to live long. Why should I live long in this fucking world, man?
Well, that is interesting.
You want to live long when you're feeling good. If the tides of fortune change right now, Chuka.
No, I wouldn't.
No, Mimi, what I don't want to live to suffer for long. Yes, but if things changed,
You might change your mind.
and if fortunes changed, and I'd be somewhere good, and I can experience the life I want. I have the money. I have the freedom. Actually, money is freedom. That's what money gives your life.
Functions of
it
money,
gives you more options. It gives you more choices. So if I'm able to have that, then I'd pray for a longer life to continue enjoying that life. But if you told me that I'll be the long suffering but secure ninja, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to suffer for long. I just say, okay, if I have to suffer, then make it short.
Make it short, man.
Make it short.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting one. Always know the uncomfortable truth or live with the comforting lies.
Hey, this is a very tough.
Whose is that?
That's yours, Sekak.
Live with uncomfortable lie. Nidanganye.
Udanganywe.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Ukinipo kweli taumia. Uncomfortable truth. Because uncomfortable truth tells you the height,
What you're dealing
the extent to which things can go wrong. You know? Uncomfortable truth for me.
Even for me, it does not take. One thing I like is being that judgment being taken away from me. It means you're always just blind. You're a puppet to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just being pulled. But if I know, I'd be able to choose. Okay, this is uncomfortable, but yeah, I have all the information I need, and therefore, I think also it dignifies somebody. as much as many people tend to feel like,
would you rather not know? Would you rather not know sometimes?
Yeah, it's true. You may feel like, nah, because we can't know all things. It would be a very intense life. Imagine if you knew everything, or if you remembered everything. But it's better for you to at least have the optimal knowledge of what you're dealing with. So you get to choose. So when you choose, that personal agency is not taken away from you. Ukiungua, unajua tu umeungua.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
And you are responsible.
Sometimes you know something. I mean, you don't know something, and it stays like that. I didn't know that this happened. And so, because I feel like sometimes when you know something, it hurts you more when you know that somebody did this to me. But if you don't come to know that somebody did these things to you, then
it's what they say, ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to some point, it is. But for being ignorant, also not knowing, also makes you vulnerable to a lot of undesired outcomes,
unintended consequences.
Yes, because you never know. You can never be prepared enough. You know. Sorry to bring this, but when I was watching your story, when the doctors were telling you, okay, you'd be dead in 2016,
2019.
in 2019. That's such a hard truth to live with. That's such a hard truth to embrace. But okay, you begin to question your mind now. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
What are my options in this? So you make a decision that it places you in an empowered situation.
Absolutely.
It makes you the driver of this fucking thing because you are prepared. You are somehow prepared for the outcomes. Sometimes when the waves come, they hit so tough that your fortress is blown over. But at least you had the grace to put up a fortress around this thing. You knew something was coming.
For what was coming up. Yeah.
So for me, knowing that hard truth, other than dignifying you, it also puts a lot of power in your hands. Yeah.
That is very true, because I remember when we were discussing a certain topic with Jagero, and we were talking about how most family members tend to put a fence around certain issues in our lives as children, in the hope that they're protecting us as children.
Yes.
But often these things cannot be fenced forever.
Yeah.
And half the time, from stories I've heard, from experiences I've had, you find the way you get to learn about these stories are usually very spontaneous. You get it, and you get it when you're not ready. You get it, and then it sparks a certain anger that this dignity was taken away from you.
Yes.
Life has a lot of things that are uncomfortable, that are shitty, that are shameful. In fact, that's the whole life as it is. It's just that sometimes we imagine that the other persons or the other families are way better. I think my Danny usually says that dalaga dalanya kubeli man. It's just like every other human being has a shit to deal with.
Yeah.
But so when we live knowing that we are somehow insulated from these things about life that makes life a little bit uncomfortable, and then one day it hits you, it actually even breaks the relationships that you had that once were beautiful for you.
Yeah.
I think also that what describes betrayal.
It shakes the foundations
of this
of your belief.
Yes.
It shakes the foundations of the relationship you've had, because you are like, okay, everybody was in it. Everybody was in it. But me,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Have the ability to time travel, but never be able to change the past or future events, or have the ability to change the present drastically but never know what the future holds. I don't understand the question.
It's multi-layered.
I understand it.
I understand.
You understand it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Understand it. Once, the other bit, you can see the future, but you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other edge is you can do everything to improve now, but you can't see what the future holds. I'd go with the second one. I'd rather have the ability to change now.
Me too.
because now
is all we have.
certain.
Now is all
it's
we
so
have.
certain.
Yeah,
You know, it comes to the level of certainty. You know, Jagero, I don't know tomorrow. I don't need to see the future to know that I'll still meet
I'll
Jagero.
still see it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll still see it.
Yes.
That's so futile.
The certainty of now actually gives you a glimpse of the future, even if you can't see it. You know. So I'd say the ability to change now, make it better, is much more of a superpower.
That's true.
Than the ability to see the future when you can't do anything about it.
Most people, especially Eastern philosophers, the newbies, therapies, they are actually telling us that one of the hardest things to do in modern life is the power of nowness. Because when you are in the now, most people tend to see the human mind sort of processes time in a linear manner.
Yes.
So most of the time when we say live a day at a time, already your mind is already illogical in the sense that it is thinking about your child is supposed to have school fees next year.
Yes.
It's thinking about the rent you're supposed to pay.
Yes.
Yeah. So in a sense, when people say live in the now, it's like you are discarding all other dimensions of time. But then you realize this very dot of a moment in the now, I mean, this is all we have. Tunaweza toka hapa, we say bye to each other. Jagero lives very close to me. Kesho nimesikia kitu fulani may happen, ama amekuwa admitted, or something has happened, all drastically.
Yes.
So I think when we live in the now, we are more intentional. We are able to appreciate the value of relationship, the value of this resource that we have in the now. And it does not mean that other aspects of life do not exist.
Yes.
It just means that we are able to extract more value from what is here
right now. Yes.
And in fact, that actually ends up extrapolating, getting into the future of what is yet to come.
Yeah. But again, what's the use of having the superpower to see the future when you can't?
Yeah, I was telling him it's futile.
When you can't edit
You
it.
just change it.
When you can't change anything.
So does it
actually, it can actually torture you to
death. It is torture.
Because you're seeing it coming and you can't do anything. If you had the opportunity to see when your brother departed, if you had the opportunity to see that my brother is going to die,
and
you can't do anything about it,
Imagine
do you know how sad that would be?
Imagine.
That can make you go nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll always be trying to avoid it, yet you can't. Imagine the torture.
So you will always be in that perpetual state of
despair.
Yes. You're seeing things that you can't do. Ni kama uko na juogi. Unaona juogi but hauna nguvu. You're seeing it but no. That's such a sad place to be.
Man, I don't want that.
Okay. Have a high-paying job that you dislike or a job that you love but pays very little.
Cream, cash roll, everything around me.
Is that a song?
Here's a song by Wu-Tang.
By Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me, yes. But this little job, we haven't known what does it cover. Because
I think it is just the normal jobs that people have. The job you hate, that's just a job.
Which is usually the way life
for
is.
example, a job that keeps you at the UN from 7 to 5, but it pays you, let's say, 1.2 M or 300,000 or 700,000. It's that kind of job. It's a job that you're going to do, but you are an artist, a gag. You want to be in the studio, you want to hang out at dialogues with Jagero, but you don't have the time.
Man. That's crazy. It's crazy. But for me, I've always loved to do my things. And if you've been my friend, you've known how doing my things sometimes fuck me up. You put so much effort into things, and in the hope that, this will pay me little, but it will give me the peace of mind that I have. And then it so turns out that even the little that you are depending on is sometimes not coming in. So it's supposed to make you, to put you in that state of security, with your earnings and stuff.
It's grounding you.
but again, it's stealing from you. I think the worst is having a job
That chips you off.
that's neither giving you enough money
Not
to have the
fulfillment.
peace,
Yes.
but it neither fulfills you too.
True.
And that's where most people are.
And you're being fucked both ends.
Yes, that's the tragedy.
That's the tragedy
of
of
the
the
current
modern
world
life. Yeah,
employment
true.
state, because people have
Absolutely.
jobs that pay peanuts, but it's still driving you nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's still driving you nuts. Actually, I think very few people have the choice of having a well-paid
Well-paying job.
without the peace of mind that we normally talk of. It's also a luxury to most people. Like,
It's costing you in one way or another.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, the other question is possess the ability to read minds but be unable to turn it off or never be able to understand people's true intentions.
Well, I've lived my life not knowing the true intentions of people, so I'll choose that. I mean, I can read your mind, but I can change it. But come to think about it, these two things are almost the same way. Look at it this way. I look at Jagero, I don't know what he's thinking, I don't know his intentions. But if I can see his mind, but not change it, the final consequence of these two choices are kind of the same. Because ultimately it means that whatever Jagero will do for me or to me or with me is dependent on him, on his own doing.
Yes,
And I think that's also what he being human being is. I'm your friend, but you do not know how much I can fertilize you. You do not know how much I can betray you.
Yes.
You only leave it to, Chuka is a good man. He's an honorable person. Beyond that, there's very little you can control. I think I'd just choose the fact that I don't know your intentions, so I'll just take you the way you are.
I got you.
What was the other one?
Repeat again.
Possess the ability to read minds but be unable to turn it off or never be able to understand people's true intentions.
I feel like we missed the bit of not being able to turn it off.
That's a torture. Shit.
Because not being able to turn it off, it means every person you see saps that energy, consumes that energy. Because I'd like to think that it takes an emotional, an investment.
Bandwidth,
to process this, to read your mind, to know what's in it. Even if I can't change it, even without the energy of trying to change anything, just the force of experiencing and knowing who you
those
are.
Thoughts.
I think it costs some energy.
It's expending an energy.
Yes, it's expending an energy. And imagine you can't turn it off.
Imagine.
Do you know how filthy people's minds are?
Yeah, constantly.
Do you know how filthy people's minds are? I know. I believe that people's minds might be dirtier than their assholes.
Yes,
really.
actually.
Because at least for an asshole, you know this is
this is it.
This is the exit, and you know what to expect. It's either some brown shit, green shit. You know this is what to expect. You know, shit is shit. You know.
Yeah.
But people's minds, do you know how the evil in people's minds?
The plotting, the things
you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
You can't
constantly.
Turn it off. I meet you, and I have to live with it. You know. That would be torture.
It's torturous.
That would be torture, man. Yeah, I can't have that.
Okay, this is the other question. Be incredibly intelligent but struggle with loneliness, or have a tight-knit group of friends and family but be of average intelligence.
Hey. I know you're pointing at me. Well, man, I'm used to loneliness. I'll choose the first one.
But I don't understand why Chuka is always saying that he's used to loneliness. What does loneliness mean, Chuka? What does loneliness actually mean?
Loneliness.
Are you used to being alone, or you're used to loneliness?
I'm used to both, actually. But loneliness and aloneness are two different things. I think there are so many different types of loneliness. There's social, there's existential, there's also relationships, and then there's also the disconnect from within you as a person. I think I'm very familiar with nearly all of them. But aloneness is just we could talk about in terms of a personality, people who are mostly introverted or they're not as outgoing as other people. As you are very outgoing, but you are also such a loner yourself. You also have just a small knit, of friends, that are going. In fact, somebody looking at you might feel, hey, you have a lot of friends, but for people who know him,
Yes.
he's not that kind of a person. So you see the way loneliness and aloneness tend to depart.
Yes.
When you look at them from the very onset, they seem to be like the same concept, but looking into the details of it,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the reason why I'm choosing the first option is because it is what I have been used to. I value, intellect and being able to exercise the faculties of my mind. And we all know that people who are like that are also more likely they're prone to loneliness and melancholy and sorrow and sadness.
Yeah, and sorrow and sadness and a whole lot of mental health issues.
Yes.
And I got you.
I'd rather have the intelligence, just the belief. I think it relieves you of a lot of bullshit when you are able to know when you know things. When you know things, you know when you're being taken for a ride. When you know things, you know the solutions to a lot of things, even if you can't get them.
Yeah.
So as much as being in a close knit friendship and some social investment, I'd prefer to be the head that knows things. Because the way I look at life, even when I want to do things, I always try to have a lot of control. So with a close-knit group, it depends on other people.
True.
It's
no longer about you.
It's no longer about me. It's
So
no longer about me. It
you have to make.
involves
Yes.
other people. It
Yes,
involves other people. A lot of things have. The moment you include the second person, the third person, the fourth person, then the whole thing of probability changes. Because there are a lot of factors to it.
Significantly,
There are a lot
yeah.
of people. There are a lot of contributors to it. But intelligence, this is something that I own.
You exercise it at your own discretion.
Yes, it entirely depends on me. So I'll pick that. Yeah.
B, have eternal youth with condition of never being able to love or be loved, or age normally with the capability to love and love deeply.
Please
Have
repeat.
eternal youth.
Have eternal youth with the condition of never being able to love or be loved, or age normally with the capability to love and be loved deeply.
Age normally.
Age normally. Hey, but now imagine not being loved.
Love, man.
Imagine me not being able to love somebody. That's not life. This can't be life. Jay-Z used to sing. This can't be life.
This can be it.
So yeah, age normally, have people who love you.
Yeah.
Relationships that you also contribute towards. Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I got you.
Normally is the catchphrase there. Normally.
So normalcy,
At least it allows me to go into it with what I know. So aging normally and be able to love. Man. Love is an essential vitamin. Love is an essential vitamin.
It's ital.
Yes.